noticed that, well, good morning, Happy New Year. I don't have anything to say for New Year yet or anything. I just want to start clearing up my phone apps, delete, kind of start fresh. I'm still nauseous, not as bad it seems as yesterday, but still nauseous. Well, sorry, I'm not that nauseous almost at all, but what I still have, it seems like it's better, but not entirely. It's the bitter taste in my mouth, and I probably should really link the microphone up because it's really, I'm speaking quite quietly. Alright, yeah, it hurts in my back because I have, I believe, like extreme acid reflux. Let's delete some apps and things. I'm gonna, I don't know, don't have internet. Sorry, stuck on Instagram now. This is the first year. It was an awful year and an awful way to end it. I don't have anything in the future. Like, I don't have any goals. I don't really have anything that's tangible. Like, any wishes or goals are just guessing games. So, like, maybe I want that. And I should say, like, it actually, like, ended really nice. Like, the last, few hours of it. And the first few hours of 25, like, were nice. Minus the awful nausea and, like, bitterness in my mouth. And I'm really scared that my life will never happen. That this life will happen, whatever, whosever life this is that I've been living for the last, like, I don't know how long, with all these, like, jobs that it's not even that, oh, it's an office job. That's not even the problem. It's like I go in and I get excited that, oh, I found, you know, maybe a place that I'll make friends or, colleague friends. Doesn't even have to be best friends. And it's going to be nice. And, you go in and you see how others interact, how they're friends, how they're like, have the relationship. And I think the fact that you're entering as a stranger, it'll always be more difficult for you to be included in that same way because they develop that relationship over time and at a different time maybe, and who knows what stage of life you are and they are, and that's different. So many factors. But I think what's like really stressful is that I think it's like ugly duckling syndrome. As I've said before, I don't actually know the story. I mean, I know it. I've not actually read it. But what I know from it is that the ugly duckling, instead of being a duck and was made fun of because it was weird looking, it was actually a swan, which is better, whatever. That's the concept. It's not what I'm referring to. I don't think there is like a better, you know, in my situation. I think it's just like a misfit, like a fish out of water, you know. I'm like a fish trying to be a duck. It's not quite the same. But, you know, like it's not like a comparison that like, oh, a bird, this bird is better than the other bird. I just don't feel like I can ever find a group that I truly belong with here. And the scary part is I don't know where my group is that I belong in. I don't know. Because this is the one thing that I've wanted more than anything in this world was to have a group of friends. And I don't even know what that. I know what it looks like in my mind, but I don't know where that is, and I don't know. I also think that, of course, it isn't exactly as it looks in my mind, just like relationships. You know, in our mind, we see even tough times, we romanticize them. And romanticize is like a weird word for me because I don't like the idea of romanticizing, but I think when people say romanticize your life and stuff like that, that's what they sort of mean, what I mean, which is, I guess, my generation, you know, a long time ago would say like glamorize, not exactly, but like make it more glamorous than it is, like even fights or whatever. In our minds, they're easier, you know, when someone crosses over a boundary, let's say, call it a boundary, you know, crosses over something, pushes a button, whatever it is, in our minds, I think it's two things. We might romanticize it, make it more glamorous than it is, make it easier than it is in our mind, or remember a time when we were able to take it easier. Because I think for a lot of people, myself included, at Nelson, our nervous system has been like just like ground down from not sure what. Because if it was just me, if it was just him, if it was just the both of us, but everyone our age, my age, our age is somewhere around, you know, give or take 5 years of my age. Well, not so much over 40, but like in our 30s here. Um, it seems like it's a very common theme. And that's, to me, fascinating. It gives me a little bit of relief that, oh, okay, it's not just me. It gives me a lot of relief in that sense. Um, but I don't know the solution. And in the meantime, how am I going to live out life? And will it ever get back to like feeling like a life? Will the nervous system ever calm down? And will I ever feel better? There are moments when I feel good. I don't remember them much. I just constantly feel so disconnected. And what hit me last night when we got back, because Nelson brought me back here, and I didn't even think of, I don't think either of us, maybe for a second we thought, like, of me going over his place or whatever, but like neither of us were considering that for real. And I've been so sick, and it was just nice to have a moment alone here. And it was this possible ending. I don't know. It's just, for me, there's something bigger than this relationship that's, I don't know how to like figure out and deal with. And it was nice to have that moment to kind of even just let that out in a environment and with someone that I feel safe to. Because I've always been safe to like talk about this stuff with him. He's been the person that 9 times out of 10, because he's not perfect and sometimes he's going through stuff or he doesn't have the patience for it, or he wants to fix it instead of like just listen or whatever, because he can't fix it. I wish he could. I wish, like there was a fix. I don't. But yeah, like, I'm afraid that like I'll never get to live the life that I thought I would live out. I see these people on Instagram, and yes, there are bad days in between all of the good days that they show. The recaps of people, they're not gonna put all negative or even maybe any negative days on there, recapping. They're putting the smiles and the kisses and the good times. I know this isn't, the comparison issue that people talk about. It's not because I'm watching this and I'm unhappy because I'm seeing these people and I'm comparing my life to theirs. I was unhappy. I was crying before I saw anything. I hadn't even gone on Instagram in I don't know how long. The sickness didn't help feel very disconnected and stuff. But it wasn't from that either. It was just, it's this, like, it's been just a while of, like, I've lost the grip on my own life. kind of like, milestones, but not so much milestones that others, sorry, that others, not life, but others are like imposing or, creating as a rule. I mean, I guess in a way it is all human made, but it's like things that meant something to me that those are the ones that like hurt the most. Like I don't care to advance in my career right now, even if that career is music. That is not where my heart is right now. Well, mainly because I haven't even really started, but like, I don't know why I can't like desire anything as far as like a career and job. Not because I don't have a passion. I think I don't have that because of this, of how I'm feeling. And how I'm feeling, I keep thinking it's like this burnout. Like just can't, I just can't do it. And I think I was so sick the last week. Like, so incredibly sick. And for sure, there are so many things that lowered my immune system in the immediate, cold air. I was like stressed. I didn't sleep. I would sleep so little. I was like, go, 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 go with the vlogs. And, it was just like so much. And I had burned out that last week or so already, or a week before that. There's like, these types of factors. However, it's a weird poop, but right. However, when I moved out of my apartment and into here, which was an awful experience, it was, I mean, internally, it was an awful experience because I was going backwards. And because I had no compass, and after I actually came here the second day, the second night, slept and woke up the next day. So the third day being here, or second day being here, I don't know, whatever. I don't know, it just kind of hit me in a different way that I don't have not so much a goal in the, when I want to say goal, I just think of a goal as, you make it. It's like a self-made thing, and you go and you work hard and you achieve it, and get to work. What I mean is more like I don't have a North Star. Like, none. None. And I think I'm going in circles a little bit here. And That's what I wanted to say. It was quickly evident to me that I needed, even though it wasn't anything that I would have liked, but it became so crystal clear to me that what I need to do right now is to stay here and pause and reset, pivot, whatever. That I need to stop before I keep going because I'm going off the cliff. I'm going off into like, or in a circle, or like I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, I'm just exhausting myself without actually having movement because I have no movement. There are moments when you don't have movement, you don't have a goal, you don't have a north star, you don't know where you're going, where you should be going, and you should be moving to figure that out. There are those moments, but I can't explain how crystal clear it is in me that this is what, if, other people might say that God talked to them. Other people might say that, intuition. Other people might say other things. Whatever you want to call it. It is not, like just a regular desire. Like, oh, I'm just tired. Oh, I'm just burned out. I should, rest. I don't want to work. Hello. I am still speaking quite softly. I'm really minimally editing this. It's pretty much not that edited. Sorry for the first beginning part that you can barely hear anything. Excuse me, even this, I can't turn it much more. Rarely do I cough, but well, apparently I'm coughing as much as I've coughed all day right now. I got some bananas with freeze-dried strawberries. Just, I don't know if I'll eat the strawberries, but in case. This morning I had apple. I read somewhere, I realize my chewing noises are bad. But anyways, I won't eat throughout the whole thing. I think the apple and banana helped me this morning because it was the taste in my mouth was getting bitter again as I woke up, and so I had struggled eating this boiled egg. Well, 2 boiled eggs. I don't really eat the whole egg. It's complicated. So I was struggling anyways. And then I had read last night. I spent an hour after, before, actually falling asleep, researching what could it be, what could be done about it. It wasn't as intense as it sounds of a research. I was just Googling, just 3 or 4 Googles, but somehow it took an hour to oh, and I wasn't, anyways, why am I going down that rabbit hole? But At one point, I read orange juice, crushed ice, or like eating ice, which surprisingly, just noticed my teeth don't hurt. Because this tooth, like, I couldn't even eat like bread on it. And today I did, by chance, eat a tiny little bit of, chips of ice just because. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh my gosh, yeah, because I turned the volume really low. About 20 minutes didn't record with volume at all. And I was trying to recover it from here, but it didn't work, so. Oh gosh. The cliff notes being that I saw this Instagram post with Cameron Diaz talking about how she was told that jellyfish have to pull themselves all the way in before propelling forward, and how once she got that, like, it helped her, and how much that resonated with me when I saw this like a couple of days ago. And that's what I was trying to say, as far as like, this wasn't this, stop, reset, or pivot, and then move, then go. It's not just a willy nilly type of decision, desire, just off the top of my head, whatever. And I was talking about how, like, there is like logic, which is what you should be doing based on really nothing but appearances, and then what you should be doing based on data is like real logic. And so this is based on data, this is real logic, even though it's not anything that looks like it should be from the outside. But considering everything, it is exactly the most logical, healthiest, best decision to stay here longer than I thought I would. Because I was planning on being here only 2 weeks to, like, really stop, rest, reset, pivot, whatever, and then go. So I can have health, so I can have wealth, so I can, like, have the things and be the person and be able to do what needs to be done to have those things that I need to do. And I broke down last night about, I'm afraid that my life will not start, and that's still a possibility even if I do this, but that's at least like trying to do this. It just screams at me all the time. So yeah. Then the other one was like about jobs, like, you know, for companies or places, workplaces, when you get a new person, like, it's your responsibility to, excuse me, to welcome that new member in your tribe. However, most of the time, new tribe members are forced based on company growth needs or whatever. And so that's where a lot of those fail. Um, but that might also be a cause, but I don't remember how much made it in, but before the mic died. But I still believe that it's, in my case, it's more me than anything. It's more, I'm a fish out of water. I don't belong in the places that I've been, and it's not that I'm better, it's not that I'm worse. It's just that I don't belong. And that's been really hard to, like, where do you go from there when everything you know, you don't belong in the only thing that you know, kind of. Yeah, I'm starting to get the bitter taste again. Um, it's hard to eat. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Anyways, I'm very flustered now because I just lost like so much of me talking. I also explained the reason that I don't intend on editing this, besides like I edited a huge chunk of me just scrolling on my phone for like 10 minutes or so. For obvious reasons, I said nothing. It was like, no emotion, anything. So, um, that, but otherwise, I felt like this made sense for this type of video. It is my honest presentation, but not really presentation, but just my honest, authentic moment right now. The way that I say it and how it comes up and how slow or how fast and how much do I need to think before speaking or how little or whatever. So I felt like there is no better video than this one for that, even though it makes it boring and it makes it not as engaging and all this stuff. Um, and then the last thing that I said, maybe that was the last thing, but the last thing that I want to say is there were amazing, beautiful parts to 2024 as well. I started this whole video with it was a horrible year, and I stand by that, but that doesn't mean that every second of it was horrible. There were some amazingly great parts of 2024 and moments, and even like the horrible had good, and even the good had horrible. An example of the good having horrible is my birthday. It was amazing, it was beautiful, but I was so exhausted that I could barely be present in it. And there were things that were sacrificed as a result as well that I probably will end up regretting, in the future. But it was also beautiful as much as it was. For an example of even the horrible had good, last night, New Year's Eve, it was a mixture of things, but in the last few hours of it, um, it was really nice. It was good, in some ways, but then it was like horrendous food, and service was not really existing. They weren't cleaning the stuff. It was just a mess. I think they were the people that were serving the food and so forth. I think they were left there without a manager, without like guidance. That's what it felt like. Like they were just left there to fend for themselves. So, you know, I don't have a single clue of what happened. It was just I've not seen that ever until last night. But for like catering a really expensive per ticket type of New Year's Eve. And then, okay, it wasn't like extremely expensive. It was in thousands of dollars, but it was expensive for us for what it was. It was really expensive. Um, but it, you know, had good in it. We danced. Nelson got his favorite song, favorite Romanian song, and there was like it was all over the place. And even this whole week, like I've been sick and stuff, but I got to rest. I don't know that I made that up. It wasn't really resting. It was a horrible, horrible 5 days or however long the whole sickness thing lasted. It was a horrible week last week. It was just, yeah, No, I lie. I'm sure there were like good moments. I can't think of a single one right now. I think the first moment that was nice since, well, it almost feels like since my second birthday celebration thing, but I know that there were a couple nice moments afterwards too, but it was last night, at one point last night, when it turned around, so, um, but yes, there were amazing moments in 2024, but the way that it ended and the way that it feels like I made not only zero progress, which made me emotional originally when I was talking about this, because then it made me think of Nelson's message to me on my birthday. But it also, so not only does it feel like that, it feels like I went completely backwards, like reverted so much. Like I feel like a little child being here and, not adult that lived by herself for like 2 years and, you know, just all this stuff. So yeah, but clearly, I'm not as emotional as I was when I recorded that earlier. Mostly because I'm now just like flustered and frustrated because things didn't record properly. That's on me. Um, but yeah, here we are. It's 11:25, way later. But I did also wake up at 11 something. Um, Probably going to start stressing about stuff, tomorrow, the day of tomorrows, or the days of tomorrow. Um, yeah, I hope this, bitterness and stuff gets better and better. Today was better, but not good. And I feel like I'm stuck in this cycle when you haven't eaten for a long time. If you're like me, it's like you get nauseous from not eating, which makes it impossible for you to eat. But that makes you more nauseous, and it's like it just makes it worse. So I've been trying to like almost force feed myself in a way. Um, we'll see tomorrow. It's not like my family has great food. I mean, my mom made salmon today and it was really good, but that's for one meal. But after the second time or third time eating that today, yeah, it's not as great. But anyways, um, yeah, I don't know. I just I didn't want to completely leave it without mentioning these things that I mentioned. Um, yeah. Also, as far as like YouTube goes, I don't know what's next. I didn't make it through even to like Christmas. I have some footage before I got sick. Um, Excuse me. But even then, I have like a couple of days of footage, like 5, 10, 15 minutes worth. But I maybe later on I might bring those along, but at this point, this is the one that you get. So I didn't make it through the Vlogmas thing, but made it through a lot and learned, I'm sure, things that right now I can't access because I'm so burned out in general. Before, during, after, and yeah. But yeah, that's the most stressful part about 2025. And the frustrating part about 2024 is I I'll say it again, I don't have a North Star. I have no idea what now. Zero idea. And I don't know if I'm to be excited or scared or both, or I don't even have an idea of what to feel. So yeah, it's a horrible feeling, honestly, right now. It's not an exciting, oh, I get to try things out or whatever. No, this is not that. And I don't know if I'll feel better anytime soon, both physically with how I'm feeling, but also emotionally and mentally. Alright, wow, this camera. Oh, man. I'll talk to you later, I guess, or not. I don't know. I do hope that you had a good New Year's and Christmas, and I hope for even better, regardless of how it was until this point. I hope for even better for you. And yeah, cool. I'm gonna end this here.